Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, a gargantuan complex overflowing with fun and joy for customers and employees alike. I mean, who wouldn't want to work at such a well-established and stand-up corporation with absolutely no skeletons in its closet? Hello and welcome back to HorrorScoped. Today we'll be talking about job security, to be exact, with one specific employee in particular, Vanessa. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach actually has a plot of the narrative pretty neatly displayed in the title itself, and our perpetrator is someone we've actually touched on a bit before in our previous video covering the malevolent woman in a rabbit suit, Vanny. In that dive, we put some light on a few threads connecting Vanny and Vanessa, and the mystery that Five Nights had painted around them, starting back with the previous entry, Help Wanted, and even discussed a couple of the possible endings of Security Breach. But there's more to it. On this lore dive, we'll be looking at a couple loose ends and a rather large nail that will put this entire narrative into the coffin. Probably. The best point to start at with Vanessa likely lies in the past with Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. This chapter of Five Nights' story covered Fazbear Corporation's attempt to clean up their public image and downplay any and all the past events tied to their family party establishments. Their idea for accomplishing this was to make a game for people to play that would show what a true Fazbear experience was like. Obviously, this was all a farce, but the important piece comes at the end of the Curse of Dreadbear DLC. Here we see the player come into possession of a certain rabbit mask, and if the player looks at the acquired Glitch Trap plush while wearing said mask, we get some dialogue, a conversation between Vanny and Glitch Trap, though we only hear the former's voice. A point we've touched on before, this encounter seems to indicate that we, the player, have been playing as Vanny, or who we'd like to assume, Vanessa. Now that this basis is established, let's look at some further evidence from FNAF's past with a deeper look at the character. In the past, Vanessa of course popped up in a few leaked emails that weren't supposed to be sent to the player. In addition to these were audio files obtained in Security Breach, detailing therapy sessions that Vanessa had been attending. Like above, some of these were touched on when we put the spotlight on Vanny. However, there are some others that we did not talk about, which gives further credence to Vanessa and Vanny being one and the same. During her time with Fazbear Corporation, Vanessa seemingly developed a friendly relationship with an IT employee named Lewis. The two apparently had chatted from time to time, and obviously exchanged messages through the corporate intranet. Lewis actually seemed to have a bit more interest in Vanessa than simply friendship, which may play a part in why we have such a wide window into her activities. His frequent emails. These messages vary in content, swaying from chit-chat to the writings of a man who desperately wants to spend more time with a girl, to questioning just why she might have made herself fake IT credentials to access a subcontractor's systems in order to override security protocols and allow a data packet through after it was flagged as a virus. Two such emails from Lewis read as follows, quote, "No subject, to Nessie97 from Luis Cabrera. Ness, I guess you're not coming in today, which is too bad. Not just because you brighten up the office, which you do, but because I really need to talk to you. I didn't want to put this in writing, but over the weekend, did you happen to create an IT department email address for yourself and use company credentials to reach out to a subcontractor and access their system? I know that sounds crazy. I mean, why would you even do that? It's just that it really looks like you did that. I'm sure it's a misunderstanding or a glitch or something. Just get back to me as soon as you can, okay? Lewis." This email is followed by another message, which reads, "Hey Ness, I haven't heard from you. I guess you probably know that. Does underscore Pizzaplex mean anything to you? Whoever created those false credentials also used them to override security protocols and allow a data packet through after it was flagged as a virus. I know it wasn't you. I just need to hear you say it. Or write it, whatever. Please just get in touch with me. Lewis." End quote. These emails paint a pretty bad picture, and it only gets worse when we actually take a look at what Lewis is referencing. Vanessa apparently had multiple accounts which were in contact with these subcontractors, titled V_A, with which she claimed to be a senior technical support representative for Fazbear Entertainment. V_A got in contact with these contractors after they were reporting a virus in their systems, and quickly managed to quarantine the malware, but not destroy it. This is where the second email address and credentials, _Pizzaplex, comes in. This user forwarded the data packet containing the virus to all users, including V_A, which was their only recipient to accept and open the packet. From here, all the contractors were seemingly locked out of their systems, while the animatronics simultaneously had all their safety protocols disengaged. Yeah, things aren't really looking good for Vanessa. Assuming Vanessa is Vanny, we know that Glitch Trap has been pulling her strings since an attempted mind merger in Help Wanted. But what other evidence is there? time to take a look at those audio files. Within the Pizzaplex is a hidden room, only accessible after Gregory has modified Freddy with a number of upgrades from his fellow animatronics. This sister location room has a CD player, which allows us to listen to Vanessa's therapy sessions. Clearly, something is wrong with her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have sought help, right? Well, possibly. But the fact of the matter is that the therapist is actually employed by Fazbear Entertainment, which really opens up another whole rabbit hole of awful with regard to the business. If it were any other company, we might think it was a kind gesture to an employee who might be going through hard times. But this is Fazbear Entertainment, a corporation with a history of grisly murders and disappearances. However, I digress. Vanessa has many sessions with this therapist, though often the conversation seems one-sided. Vanessa doesn't seem too eager to open up about anything. One such discourse goes as follows, quote, "Hello, Vanessa. How are you feeling today? You look a little tired," the therapist asks, concerned. Well, it's been a while since we last spoke. How's your anxiety been? You did so well with your calming protocols when we first worked together. Are you still using those? Yes? Okay, good. Well, now I understand there's a new issue. It came on just recently, rather suddenly. Can you tell me about it? What issue? Vanessa retorts. I've been doing my job. I come in and sit at my desk and do my work. Yes, of course you do, her therapist responds. Your performance reviews are good, but a routine check of your online history has revealed that you spend quite a bit of time with someone in an encrypted conversation. We have transcripts, and I've read them, but it's not clear what you're talking about in these conversations. I can't make sense of it. You must be getting something from these that I'm not getting, right? Who are you talking to in these? No one. Sometimes I talk to Lewis. He's in the marketing department. He's nice, I guess. Yes, I see Lewis here, but there's someone else. End quote. This conversation seems to allude to an ongoing conversation with someone, but the transcripts don't make any sense to anyone who reads them outside of Vanessa. The likely second party here is of course Glitchtrap, sending orders to his minion. These recordings have a lot of interesting information in them, such as the fact that Vanessa had to deal with the breakup of her parents as a child. Her father's name is Bill, which could have other major implications considering the only thing we know of Vanessa's last name is the first letter A. Could she be another child of William Afton? That could certainly explain why she's so readily manipulated by him, if that's the case. But there isn't enough evidence to prove it conclusively. Actually, we don't even know if Vanessa was being honest with the person or the company with regards to her past. However, that nugget aside, one of these conversations overlaps with an email that Lewis sent Vanessa regarding a package arriving for her from a fabric company. With a smiley face, he asks Vanessa if she was making a costume. The therapist went ahead and dug into this a bit, and things got weird. Quote, "Good morning, Vanessa. Well, I can't blame you for looking out the window instead of listening to me. It's a gorgeous day, isn't it?" asked the therapist. "I like the blue sky," Vanessa responded. So do I. Now, let's see what we can get done on this nice sunny day. Okay, here we go. I know part of your job requires you to do online searches, but a routine audit of your search history has revealed that you're doing a little private searching on company time. Is that right? I get breaks, Vanessa responded quickly. That's true, so on your breaks, it looks like you're shopping for a costume. You purchased some fake fur material. What are you gonna make? Vanessa mumbled to herself. What was that? Did you say the costume is a secret? Why is that? The therapist questioned. I can't talk about this. He said he would always be watching. He could be here, or there, or anywhere in between, Vanessa answered. Are you talking about your dad? Have those feelings come up again? I hate sounding like a broken record, but this is something you really need to resolve if you're ever going to be happy. I have, Vanessa responded. I compartmentalized him. He's locked away. No, that's not what I meant. You can't just ignore the issue. You have to face your memory of the experiences and process them so you can let it go, so you don't get triggered anymore. You can use this sort of self-dialogue to release these things, the therapist explained. I don't like doing that. Well, okay. We'll get back to that. I'd really like to know something about this costume. What's it for? End quote. Obviously, this is all pretty alarming stuff, and it only gets worse considering this is the third therapist she has had with the company. A fact we're made aware of when yet another replacement arrives and bluntly states that all her former therapists have either gone missing or have died. Vanessa is unfazed by this, even after the new therapist explains that her predecessor's body was found to have seemingly been mangled by machinery. This new therapist presses Vanessa on a number of issues, including her alleged hacking of the Mega Pizzaplex's systems that were described in earlier emails. Not surprisingly, Surprisingly, this therapist quickly disappears as well. Interestingly, the next therapist takes it upon themselves to research Vanessa's past. Earlier when we questioned Vanessa's honesty with the company and her counselor, this is why. Could her manipulation from Glitchtrap run so deep that her entire history had been fabricated? According to this person, Vanessa had a fantastic childhood and great parents. Something here just isn't right. All this brings us to Security Breach's numerous endings, one of which we've seen, which depicts Vanny being unmasked by Gregory to reveal someone who looks exactly like Vanessa. This scene is made mysterious, however, due to the fact that we see Vanessa on top the burning Pizzaplex. Our theory with that ending has to do with the ongoing story of Five Nights as a whole, with the souls who die at these locations being forever bound to the grounds. In this ending, it could very well be Vanessa's spirit looking down at her body mournfully. However, is this the true ending? You see, along with the other collectibles, the game features 3 minigames hidden throughout the Pizzaplex, called Princess Quest, where the burning Pizzaplex ending creates a fitting smokescreen on Vanny and Vanessa. The conclusion, after successfully completing the Princess Quest trilogy, clears the air. This trilogy illustrates Vanessa's escape from the mind-altering corruption that Glitchtrap cursed her with. We related Dr. Wily to Glitchtrap previously because of the similarities of how they operate, and for Vanessa and Zero, these parallels remain true. The Red Maverick went on to be one of Earth's greatest heroes when freed from the Doctor's influence. Indeed, when freed from all the manipulation, Vanessa has a new lease on life. Once the wretched rabbit mask is removed and dropped to the floor, we see her join Gregory and Freddy. Well, Freddy's head anyway, atop a hillside, overlooking the sunrise and the horizon, eating ice cream. Putting this dark chapter to rest may hopefully mean something more for Gregory as well, as he is possibly an orphan. When he started this journey, he was all alone, but now he has 2 others who he could call friends. Hopefully Vanessa is able to heal after all the trauma she endured, and doesn't have to answer for all the horrible things she did under the control of Afton. Who knows what the future holds though. So what did you think of Vanessa's dark story? What do you think comes next for her and Gregory? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe now for more Five Nights at Freddy's, and until next time, cheers.